Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind HR. I totally apologize for just being tardy. I really have let my schedule get the best of me. Like, seriously, my schedule has taken over my life and I feel so horrible for being late. I totally said that we were going to do this at 7 and that did not happen. But I do want y'all to know that um I'm gonna go through like a bit of a PowerPoint. Y'all know I'll do that before we do the resume reviews. I'm gonna go through these resumes and then I'm gonna just kind of let you guys know that it's a blessing in disguise, but it's also a curse because I always just want to be a human resources employee. I have no aspirations to be like an entrepreneur or to be a business owner, and that's the space I found myself in. And I've said this to several clients, and I say this definitely to my close circle, where I went out on a limb of starting HR just because I wanted to bridge the gap for people that I felt were being treated unfairly in human resources. And now it's growing. So I'm kind of going through some growing pains right now where I need to just update some systems, update what my offerings of how long we're doing these resume reviews, what they look like, that type of thing, so that I can make sure to be on top of things. So I don't know what I did when I told you guys that this was going to be the last resume review. Why did I do that? Because y'all went crazy. When you submit those resumes, y'all, listen, after you submit it, it's a done deal because I'm working a full-time job. I think another thing is also that I got promoted into HR business partner. And we've had a lot of changes going on with my full-time position. And that's really where my heart lies, to be a full-time employee. And so I honestly just don't have the bandwidth to do some of the things I may have done when I first started doing resume reviews a year ago, where people would say, well, hey, I want to do this resume instead. And I change and be like, okay, cool. I'll pick that one up. I'll make a note to myself. Once you submit, that's a done deal. Either you're going to come out that submission or you're going to book a call. So I'm going to go through a couple of just tidbits real quick, and then I'm going to check in the live in the chat and see what's going on with y'all. But I'm going to share my screen to make sure that you guys can see what I'm looking at, because I don't want to miss this part. And I'll probably share it again at the end. But I'm going to start with making sure that y'all know one thing. I ain't trying to be no type of way about nothing. I have such a tight schedule this month that I literally need to be up at 3 a.m. and out the door by 3:30 to jump on a 5:30 a.m. flight. I will be in Austin, Texas. And I said I wasn't going to give all these details because it's the internet, but my house secure. So you come through, you're going to be in a jam. But I literally have one day that I was going to be in office today, and hopefully I'll be in on Friday, depending on what goes on with my flight and what goes on with things in Austin. And so my schedule is super duper tight. I can't go back and forth in emails. I don't mind doing it when I have the time. I just don't have the time. So let me go through this whole resume review. And let's not forget the fact that I had to kind of change the company's name, change the logo, things like that in the middle of the week, stuff I was not expecting. So my mind all over the place. So we're going to talk about some of these resume reviews. And y'all already know that the requirements to get your resume reviewed is that you have to be on the email list. And then you have to just click on that link in the description box if you want to know about future resume reviews. All year long, we've been doing them, every month. It's going to change. So you have to wait on the email that says submit your resume. The subject literally says submit your resume. Y'all don't send me resumes and no other emails. Like none. I am neglecting other areas because I'm responding to emails where I've clearly said directions. So when you get on the email list, you're going to get an email that tells you what resume reviews look like. And if that's something you're interested in, just heads up. And then once you already get this email that says submit your resume review, I usually send a monthly calendar. I apologize, didn't do one this month because time just didn't allow. So already did the email, usually will do the calendar, didn't do that. But along with that, I'll send out an email that says submit your resume here. When you click on it, it tells you the instructions. When you submit, you go through questions and you submit. That's it. And then it gives you a follow-up auto response. So once you do that, y'all, that's just it. You have to use that link in that email, no other emails at all. If you're sending it to me in a separate email, it's because you're on my calendar and you already paid for me to talk to you about this. But during the resume reviews, I need y'all to do me a huge, huge favor, because one way that tells me to continue doing these resume reviews is if YouTube sees that you guys have engagement with it. So the way to show engagement is that you share this with other people while we're live for yourself, and that you hit the like button and that you comment, even if it's not your resume, like say good resume or great points, Tamika, I'm learning a lot, whatever you need. But those engagements allows YouTube to say, you know what? This is really good information. If y'all ain't engaging, then it messed me up. I know they get to a point where you're writing notes. I know a lot of you, it's evening time, you're cooking dinner, you're doing laundry, you're doing everything else. I understand. Just hit the like button for me when your hand's not full. Make sure to take notes, even if it's not your resume. Listen, so many people have sent me emails, which I appreciate, or comment on the surveys where they're like, I got so much out of just watching other people ones. Put questions and feedback in the chat. So after you're done with the resume reviews, for those of you who got picked, you're going to get an email that says, hey, please leave me a Google review. That's another way for Google to let people know, hey, HR exists. And it really helps the business. And it also helps me. And when I say helps the business, it helps me to know if what I'm doing is even worth my time. Like my time's so strapped tight. I still have a child. I have a mother that have health issues. I got a dog that had surgery. And so I had to help her heal. She was under the weather. But anyhow, and I live in this house, just me and my daughter. So when things go wrong, I need maintenance issues, whatever, I have to be the person to handle all those things. When you guys literally like do Google reviews or the videos go wild or whatever, I know what you want. And so I focus on that area. If you don't do it, then I'm gonna keep going. So complete the follow-up survey, because that's when you can tell me like, Tamika, this was trash. Or Tamika, this was a blessing. So because it also has some other questions to tell me if I'm helping you right. Share this on IG, tag Hey HR, share it on LinkedIn and tag Tamika Green. You know, make sure that you're just tagging me, because then I know like, oh, there's some good stuff. Some of y'all do it and I really, really appreciate it. So just keep doing that, because that's another way that I know that you're really getting value out of it. And then they're not only not going to last long, but there's going to be some changes. I'm going to tell y'all about that at the end. And always, if you want a customized approach, you just want me to go over yours specifically. You want me to go through bullet points. You want me to tell you how to do the summary paragraph. You want me to tell you what jobs you should take out. You want me to tell you different keywords to put in, and just schedule a call with me. But let me let y'all know that resume reviews are going to be different from 2022 to 2023. So 2022, we did them monthly. If I was getting ready to launch something, I did them 2 times a month, sometimes 3 times a month. And so I did that as a way of you getting a taste of what HR can do for you, to see if this is a relationship you want to continue. I did them consistently. I did so many different things to make it streamlined better, hence not replying to emails, but submitting that form, you know, hence me going back and giving you like follow-up emails as to what it's like if I really needed to, that type of thing. But it's going to be looking different in 2023. So 2023, the prices for resume reviews are going up. The free ones are going to be much less. My mindset right now is that I will do free resume reviews on a quarterly basis, but don't hold me to it, because I ain't making no promises. I'm still finishing my 2023 goals. And so I know that you guys like them, because I get so many so quick that I'm like, I probably should keep it. I used to could keep the form open for like the whole week until Thursday and had to beg y'all like, hey, submit your resume. Now I got to literally send myself email alerts, so I don't want to close the form, because when I get to 10, I got to stop. So definitely changing it for 2023, where I'll still do it. It just won't be monthly. I don't know what that looks like yet. So being on the email list is not trash. If you're like, Tamika, I don't want to work in HR, I just want you to review my resume. Absolutely fine. I just won't be doing it every single month anymore. I don't have the bandwidth. I thank the Lord for growing pains, but it's also like a blessing and a curse, because I just don't have the bandwidth. Like tonight, I had worked all day, 3 client calls. 1 I missed because I didn't put my calendar right. Now I had to fix that the best way I could. Luckily, she took it nice on how I fixed it, and then rushed to look half decent so I can do the resume reviews. And then I got to finish packing and then getting on a flight 3 o'clock in the morning. So I got a band with y'all. Sorry. So 2023 is going to be very, very different. We're going to do those free resume reviews less. They'll still be there. They'll just be less. The second thing is that we're going to still have resume reviews for you guys. It's going to be the 30-minute options are going away. I'm speed talking through those things and not giving you value like I think you deserve. And I'm doing it as a cost saver, but it's really not a cost saver if you don't get the return on investment as quickly as I think you should. And I think after a resume review, you should start getting interviews in 30 days, and you should get a job offer, at least one, if not multiple, within 90 days. And if I'm not seeing that, I'm not giving you value. So it's changing. I'm going to make it a situation where I can take more instead of what I'm taking now. And you'll have tons of feedback versus me trying to talk through it. You'll have things to take away with you. So it's going to look a little different, y'all. All right, now let me see what y'all talking about in the chat, because I done did all my fussing and complaining and I mean to. I just got to be transparent with y'all. I just got to make sure we on the same playing field. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Kylie. Hey, Emily. What's going on, Jessica? All righty. I like when y'all say hi to each other in the chat. I really like that. Hey, Emily. What's going on, Jennifer? We hadn't seen you on resume reviews in a while. I know y'all got a life, so you like to me. I can't come on every time. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Designer Me. How are you? She stepped away for a little bit, came back. But Ma, what's good? Girl, my braids are breeding. Well, all these roots showing up, girl. I need to take these things out, honey. But my breeding girl, she do me all right. So you want to ask me, is it okay to apply for different roles or similar tasks at the same organization? Definitely okay. Definitely okay. Keep the questions focused on resume reviews for me, y'all, so that we can get these resume reviews done. But definitely okay, Jennifer. Not a bad thing. What you don't want to do, I'm gonna say this real quick, and nobody else put any other questions that don't relate to resume reviews. What you don't want to do is you don't want to apply for custodian, finance director, HR generalist, and mechanical engineer. You want to show that what you're applying to, if you apply to multiple places within the organization, is all within your career field. So it's okay to apply to HR coordinator, HR generalist, HRBP. It's okay to apply in those places if your skills align, because you're like, you know what, I can do any one of these. But don't apply all over the place, because now you just look like a person who's just trying to get into the company. Nobody's gonna take you serious. You just found my channel today, and now you get to review me live. You're so welcome, Crave Coco. Hey, Michelle. Thank you. I'm happy you on here. You come on the same day I'm chastising folks. Darn it, I'm sorry. All right, we're going to jump into these resume reviews. Y'all know me. First thing we're going to do when we get into this is that we're going to absolutely, you're welcome, Jennifer. You haven't been around for a while. I couldn't ignore your question. Y'all who ride with me since I was at 500 and 1,000 subscribers. I feel horrible not letting y'all break the rules. I shouldn't though. That's the problem. Why y'all be sending me these emails asking for all these favors. And I'm like, no, if I don't have time on the calendar, I don't have time. Like, I literally have given you all my time. Can I please have some time to use the bathroom, get a sip of water, take the dog out for a walk, like talk to my daughter, check on my mama. Like, folks are like, hey, I need a call. Sorry, baby, I can't do it. But I get, so it's, y'all have been with me for a while, so I really can't say no. All right, so this is what we're gonna do, y'all. We had 10, 2 people pulled out, so that gives us 8. So that's not gonna be where I'm gonna be like, oh, I got more time to talk to you. Nope, we're gonna run through these things where I'm gonna be done by 8:45. So Lanisha Bell, I believe. Jessica, no wonder why you're in the chat. You on it, girl. You number 2. And then Fritzy Gaspard, Angelic Dunning, Devin Lafredo, Tara Jensen, Tammy Rosander, and Michelle Bello. So y'all know I ask you if you're here, if you're in the chat, because sometimes I just want to ask you more questions. I want to see if I give you enough feedback. That's the biggest thing. I always, these things are free, but I don't intend for it to come out like free stuff. You know how you be getting the free stuff and you be like, oh Lord. Like when the church used to give away like free food in the pantry, and then you get there and you like, we only get cranberries. Oh, well, we got peas. Oh, they expired last month. Like, I want to give you guys value, even though it's free. Okay. Alrighty. Hey, Beth, you know what? You having a hard time getting an HR? HR isn't an easy field to get into if you have specific desires, but definitely on calls, I give you guys other ways to look for jobs. I think we just apply when we look at Indeed or whatever, and we just think, okay, this will be it. I'm gonna hang out because I already applied. I just need them to call it back at me. Now I teach you how to not put all your eggs in one basket and how to be a more strategic approach to your job search. Oh, Jennifer, that's what's up though. School is important, my friend. School is important. Hey, Devin, I didn't I just mention a Lafredo? All right, Devin, you in here. All right. Good. Did it help? Well, you're in school right now, so you're not focused on taking an exam. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the first resume, and I'm gonna share my screen. It's still generating. Oh, here we go. All right, Lanika Bell, human resources and people advocate. Lanika, I'm gonna tell you straight up. First thing, I love the way you got your name so nice and big. I just love that because these names really, really need to stand out. So that's good. Contact, yeah, you got your fake info there. So change that from mission and just put professional summary, or you can just put summary, but mission, I think, is always focused on you have this specific thing in task and this is in mind and this is just what you're going to do. And sometimes our mission can be counterproductive with our company's goals or our company's mission. So we don't want them to think from the title of mission that we're so focused on what we want, we're not going to make changes for the company. So I changed that to professional summary, looking to lend my proven skills. Looking to lend my proven skill set to a company that shares my values. Work history. I'm gonna just read this real quick, then we're gonna run back through this because I see a bunch of areas I'm gonna hit on. We only got 2 pages. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, we about to nail this. Lanika, you in the chat? Yeah, we about to nail this. I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. Let me see what Lanika trying to do. Okay, Lanika, you want to get a mid-level HR position. Okay, gotcha. So Lanika, let me tell you something. There are a few things I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. First things first. You want to do professional history instead of work history. What you want to do in each of these areas is start talking about what you've done with the company. But the biggest thing is you can't even focus on what you've done with the company because you kind of use some of your spaces in other areas. I know we go with these templates and these how these templates are set up. But when you don't have like full-fledged HR experience, you can't just list a job and then go over a summary of duties because you really got to show yourself a little bit more. Like if somebody had 10 years or 20 years of HR experience and they already worked at 5 different organizations and done amazing things and shown progression throughout their career, then they probably could go for something that just goes over a big idea of what they've done and just list the jobs. But for you, you've already been HR business partner and Southern Territory manager. Those two, okay, so yeah, because you work for Bleachers and Seats. Okay, right? That's the name of your company. See, so that's the first thing. Now I'm already thrown off because I can't tell exactly what the company's name is versus what the job title is. These two titles don't go together. So did you work at them, at different times? Did you start 2019 to 2020 being a Southern Territory manager and then went from 2021, or 2020 till current being an HR business partner? Was that all the same job title? If it was, then what you want to do is take this one away because it has nothing to do with HR and your goal is to start your career in HR. So you want to do HR business partner. Matter of fact, I kind of skipped an area here because I was trying to get a global understanding. And my understanding with this mission is just, it ain't right. Your professional summary is what it should be called. And you're not looking to lend my proven skills to a company that shares my values and growth while contributing to the company's overall growth. Nope, that's not what you're doing because what you should be doing is targeting your job search so that you only applying to companies that already share your values and growth. What you're doing is I'm a human resources business partner with experience in X, X, and X for X number of years. Looking to start with the organization that can, looking to start with the organization and continue being a human resources professional, So you want to focus on what that is that you want to do, because you already got up here that you're human resources and human resources professional and people advocate. So now that I'm seeing this, I probably would just put human resources professional and take the people advocate away, because when I saw people advocate, I automatically assume that you're working as like an employee advocate within a company. Since you haven't done that yet, then they probably want to do 2 separate resumes for this instead of just one. One as a human resources professional, one as a people advocate, because your bullet points should be different for people advocate, and it's going to be kind of overall for a human resources professional. But people advocate, you want to show what you've done on that initiative, like what events have you created, or ways have you increased employee engagement, things like that. You're going to go harder into those skills, and you're just going to damper on them in an HR regular resume. So then here, I would take this title out and just leave human resources business partner. I put that bold so people know, listen, this is the job title I did. For office administrator, I put that bold. But let's go down a bit, because to be honest with you, I see that you worked as an HR generalist from 2007 to 2014. And I'm assuming that hopefully you started as an office manager and then you became a generalist, or vice versa. So I would break those down into 2 different jobs. So I did one, then the other, right? Because because you really want to show if that was just company growth, or was that company just that small that they use the office manager as HR generalist as well. You only been here for a few months, so I would take that out, honestly. And I'm looking down here where you say, okay, I have some gaps in my employment. I would never highlight gaps. You ain't got to worry about me doing that at all. None of these relate to being in HR, so I would just take them all off. I would take them all off. And instead of calling this leadership, I would say professional affiliations, and make that look like 2 separate things. So put a little space in between them. But I'd make this font smaller, because all of this should be on one page. Shouldn't be no reason going over to another. Secondly, because you only have one job in human resources, I take these software skills and dump them over to this side. So I can use all of this to talk about my experience in human resources. So I talk about my experience. I would really dive into bullet points on each one of them, right? So here, because I was HR business partner, I'm probably going to have a minimum of 5 to 6 bullet points in this first one. Give all of these like 2 of them till I get down to this HR generalist, and I'm gonna give them about 4, right? And I'm only saying those small numbers because you would need to stay on one page. I would change the font in this whole thing. I don't know if you like me where I can't hardly see. So you got this big and I can see it without needing my glasses or without squinting. It tells you right there, you're wasting too much space. So I would definitely make the font smaller. And then I go over here and look at these skills. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in their professional skills, so I can just put all my skills in one place. I don't want you to think that I have key skills in one area, because I got skills in everything. Like, that's what you're gonna think from this resume. And when I get in there for an interview, I'm gonna tell you what I soar in, but I'm not gonna tell you what I'm deficient in for my resume, because my resume is my first point of entry into this organization. This is my gateway to get into the door. So I take all of these and put them up there. And I take out the ones that truly doesn't matter to HR. So some of the ones would be like QuickBooks. Another one would be Intuit. Another one would be social media. Another one would be SalesMate. Another one would be ServiceNow. So I would use all of the others beyond that. And then I would dump in there with Microsoft. What is it that I'm really good in? Is it Excel, is it PowerPoint, that type of thing? And then I'd take out these ones that are just very, very generic and put them into my bullet points here, and tell how I've used my problem solving skills, how I've used those organizational skills, how have I used these skills, because they're very overall. But I definitely wouldn't worry about putting in CRM, vendor management, because none of those you're going to use in HR. All the rest of them you could use, put them in bullet points, put technical or professional skills over there and dump them over there. And you have education. So you have the education. So if this doesn't meet together, I make them meet. Like, I pull this one up higher and put the education up there so people don't have to find them at the bottom. And for your SHRM certification, I would probably put that with my professional skills down here and just make that number 1. And then I look like I have 3 different ones. Because the education is not just being certified. I mean, you can call it that, but by the time you become, y'all see the minimum requirements to become certified. They want you to already have that education. So you're not getting education, you're proving your education. And so I don't think it's a bad idea if you put up here, like, you can put like in parentheses, or you can put SHRM CP is what you're going for, right, in December. So you can put SHRM CP on the end of your name and just put in parentheses December 2022. So they'll know you're working on it. You're coming for it. You're coming to get it. All right, we done going over that whole thing. We're going to go to the next person. All right, next up is going to be somebody who in the chat, because Jessica, you next, honey. Jessica Gallegos, you are next. All right, Jessica. Jessica, why yours ain't linked? What's going on? Let me see if I can get it to go for me. Let's see what happens here. Okay. See, sometimes my phone failed for me. So Jessica, that's fine. See why I got to keep them all in one place? If I had to go looking through emails for this day, honey, I'd be done losing my mind. Jessica. Oh, okay. All right, Jessica. So J goes. All right, my computer searching. And Jessica probably saved it as a whole different name. Nope, she did not. December 7th, that's when I had it open. All right. All right, Jessica, we got you open, honey. So I'm gonna go back to share my screen. I see you, Devin. All right, Jessica. Jessica, I know you're in the chat. So you ready? Tell me you're ready. Tell me if you're ready. All right, so here we go, Jessica. So Jessica, I like how you got it in blue because it definitely stands apart. Not a bad idea to make it bigger and just change your margins. So you can go right into Word and kind of change the margins, make them smaller. If you can't, just make them narrow, because if you make them narrow, it's going to make it narrow around the whole thing. You can just go to the header and put it and just make it smaller. So thanks, Jessica. Good, thank you. Well, y'all be changing them names. That threw me off. I don't be thinking y'all gonna change the names when I do your resume. I think that you're just gonna change your address so that, like, you know, a serial killer doesn't come to your house that's watching my channel, because I can't control who YouTube shows this thing to. Maybe they might watch my channel and be like, Jessica at home. I'm gonna go in there and kill Jessica so we can get off live. You know what I'm saying? I think extreme. I don't think about changing your name. Like, who y'all hiding from that? Anyhow, so I like how you got your phone number here and your email address there. That's good. If you have a LinkedIn link, then definitely put that there as well. Like I said, make your name a little bit bigger, change the margin. So, and change that from objectives. I know so many of these templates start with objective. If you're gonna do it, then do professional objective. But I wouldn't do objective because now I don't sound like I'm being open to what the company wants me to do. I would just put as professional summary, creative, passionate, goal-driven, professional. Oh no, Jessica, I'm confused. You're trying to work at HR? Let me see what's going on. Okay, so all y'all looking for HR positions. Okay, so I'm all the way confused, Jessica. So this is what you got to do on this thing. Let me go back to you. I'm gonna go back to Sharon. Because you're not confused me just like that, right? And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to confuse somebody when they look at your resume. What you want to do is make sure that you start with human resources professional with over 20 years of experience being creative, passionate, goal-driven, professional, utilizing my skills to continue career growth while contributing to the further success of the organization. If you didn't catch that, when this thing goes up on my channel, which it'll go on my channel as soon as I get off live, it's there now, but you can't. I think you can rewind, but rewind. Y'all know what I mean. I'm an 80s baby. But go back to what I said in the same way I read it. That should be your subject. Right now, you have me all the way lost, and the first thing I see is graphic designer, customer service, HR, focus on benefits. No, that's not what you're going to focus on, because you work in benefits now, but you've done quality. That's a part of HR, unless you got a company that has a quality department, which your company did. And then we can go down to the rest of it. So I can see that that's what your experience is, but if you're going into HR, you got to keep this focus there. You can't go and talk about all the other stuff you did. All right, so next thing, and it's for any job. It's not just for HR, it's for any job, y'all. Next thing, my child, I'm born in 2003. So these are already way too old to be on here. 1999. No, Jessica, take all that out. What other jobs you got in here? Okay, good. Jessica said 1999. I know that's right. So Jessica, what you gonna do? And I personally, if I were you, I'd start here and just take all of that out and go harder on my bullet points and HR. And I let that take up half the damn page. And then you can keep these real small, like how they are. Go into more of those like the skills, like going harder on those skills. You're talking about a lot of basic stuff like W-4. Well, you know what it is, your benefits advisor. So I would talk about, instead of saying like process high volume inbound calls, like how many calls was that? Like, was it a multi phone line? High volume email inquiries, like how many was that? Did you respond to, 100 emails per hour or 100 emails per day? What systems did you use to manage that? Who were you getting that information to? Talk about some of the problems you solve when they call into the employee service center. So, I would say, there's a lot you could do with that. I'm gonna look at the rest of your resume, but there's a lot you can do with that. Make that more where that takes up majority of the page. And then down here, you should only need, I'm a notary. If the job doesn't need a notary, I don't have that on there. And if I do, then I literally only put, notary public. I don't worry about my notary ID. I don't worry about my expiration date. And if I do my expiration date, I'm gonna put a little comma, EXP dot in the year. That's it. Because mainly like state agencies want you to be a notary, but not most other companies. They can care less. That's like an added thing for them. Okay, your education. Take the year out. You don't need a year. I mean, you already showing us back to 99, so we know you up there with me. So take the year out. You don't need that. Yep, these don't relate to HR, so I would take out both awards and honors. But what I really was trying to get to is these skills down here. So I personally love the way you have like Microsoft Bold, Adobe Bold, email Bold, and then you go into these things individually. That's amazing stuff to do because you're showing not only have I worked on all these things, I know exactly how to use them. Mm-hmm. 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 Now, the only thing with email is like the way you explain an email here, you can make that in the bullet points up into that benefits position. Like, how did you use those folders? What problems did you solve by creating those folders? Were you creating a process where you can easily keep track of things and you allowed your processing time to decrease with that? With the calendar invites, you can say, hey, I managed communication, digital communication with X number of people on an X regular basis. So like when you start naming it out down Microsoft Office, Google Drive, and Adobe and the web the way you did, then I assume when you get the email, you're gonna say Outlook again if you want to, Gmail, like name out different email platforms to use. I know that's right, girl. Like, and I'm giving y'all some extras. Okay, so you want to work in HR. So what I would do is I would move this here. I would take technical out. You don't need no technical. So I put human resources in bold, and then I put in it PeopleSoft and Cognos. HRS. I put HRS in bold. And then for DocuSign, you don't even have to put HRS. You can just put human resources and then put Cognos reporting, PeopleSoft, and DocuSign. And then what you can do is go back to web and you can put Zoom in there anyhow. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Oh, you fluent in Spanish. Man, listen, let me tell you something. All of this right here, go to the top because you only got one HR job. So I put start my experience with all of that. So all they see is senior human resources benefits advisor. And then they see quality assurance specialist, right? So by the time you move all of that to one page, you might not even need this transaction processor. So I would take all of that out. Yeah, take all of that out. All of those jobs right there, take that out. All right. Kill them with the skills up to the top. Put the education, keep it down at the bottom. Take out the honors and awards. Great job on putting your skills in there. For professional license and certifications, I probably would just put that. Well, I just put it like how I told you. Just put notary public, comma, expiration. Keep that all on one page. Cool? All right. Was that helpful, Jessica? Because you in the chat. Was that helpful? Oh, I forgot. Okay, he asked for his to come out. So that's another person who in the chat. Because I done seen your name. Fritzy Gaspard. I thought I saw your name. Maybe I didn't. I know that's right. He's like, listen, I'm gonna just redact this thing. Y'all not about to stress me with this change, the whole thing. I loved your fake address and your email, Jessica, just so you know. No, you can just put like experience. Okay, good. I'm happy you found it helpful. Good. All right, so now I'm about to share the screen again. So we can dive into this one next. And Mr. Fritzy Gaspard. Okay. I just like the way you just went through and just redact that thing. But I can tell you, and this is a great one, right? Because y'all get all caught up on like, I didn't use the right name, I didn't use the right version, blah, blah, blah. Your whole point is just to get feedback, right? So, you know, quite a few folks on the last time pulled out for like small things like this. And then some of y'all on this one, well, two of y'all on this one pulled out for like small things like this. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Your point is to get the feedback, right? So he was just like, listen, you can see where I got a position. I just don't want my personal information out there. I don't want the company name. See, the company name is a good thing to take out too, or to change. Not a bad idea. Those are the things I thought y'all were going to focus on. I was not thinking y'all worry about changing your damn name. I was like, what? Who y'all hiding from? An ex-boyfriend? What's going on? Y'all see my story about me being a domestic violence survivor? I should be hiding, not y'all. Like, what is going on? Okay, so let me stay focused. Fritzy, all of this space right here you got up here, you can push this up. But let me see, you got 2 pages. And now you're saying you're an HR specialist, but then you got another subheading. Why are we doing that? Okay, hold on. Hey, listen, you done got good experience and talent, and everybody looking for a talent person. All right, y'all with all these languages, I appreciate that. That's some good stuff. All right. I would change a font on all this stuff and make it all fit into one page. And I would change the spacing too. The spacing is way too far off. And the font. I'm thinking you got on like 1.5 in between these. Just make it like 1. If it's already on 1, then just make the font smaller. And all of this white space you got on the sides, I would change the margins too. So I would make my margins a little bit smaller around the whole thing. You can go to narrow if you want, but you're going to do a lot of manipulating to make it look right. So you can just kind of shrink them down. So I normally go for a 0.7 to the top and a 0.5 on the side. Self-motivated, organized, resourceful, professional with over 5 years experience demonstrated. So I would just start with recruiting professional. Like, take all of that out. Because you're going to show if you're self-motivated, organized, and resourceful through these bullet points. So I just start recruiting professional and leave everything else the same. Second thing is I'm a little lost. I would make 2 resumes. So I get it that you've been working in talent but you might want to be moving out of talent, right? So I would do as human resources professionals, like a generic one. And then I would do another one where this blue words is, talent acquisition professional. And take this little subheading out because you're just kind of wasting space with that. With all of those things, you can easily see it in your bullet points. So if you negotiate it well, then that means you're going to have a higher number of applicants that turn into employees, which means you're probably going to handle a whole lot more requisitions in a short period of time, right? So like, I'll say for myself, I shocked myself to see that I was, able to juggle like anywhere from 5 to 10 requisitions at a time and hire people all simultaneously. Like within a week or two, they all coming on board. You know what I'm saying? So that's the stuff you can show with this. And when I say in a week or two, I mean going through all the interview process, and then at the end, if I don't offer all within that week, then I'm gonna offer the next at the beginning of the next week. Because I expect that I'm managing all of these requisitions at the same pace. And you've learned that over time. So that's the stuff you show when you show like your negotiation skills, your interpersonal skills, and your talent management. All of that should be in your bullet points because you should start saying stuff like, oh. So not a bad idea if you take these technology skills and dump them to the top, because working in talent, that's gonna help you in the applicant tracking system, because that's gonna help you grade higher. I don't know what ATSs you use, but dumping them there and then put into here how you use these different things to make life a little bit easier, right? So I would say manage sourcing, recruiting, and screening for X number of requisitions for X different business units or verticals, interchanging communication with various stakeholders. And then move this hourly. I just don't see where hourly salary and executive roles. Now, executive roles is helpful, but I just don't. I would say like a performed offers. And I mean, you don't need to put all, but if you want to put emphasis besides that, but what emphasis you putting beside it if you ain't telling me how many offers you did, how many requisitions you handled, how much you shrank that time to fill, give me some meat. Because right now you can be saying all offers and meant like, yes, Mika, I extended 2 offers in the last 6 months. So that really ain't nothing for me who's extended, I mean, I've been transitioning, but this year, I mean, I've extended like, I don't know, 50, 60 dang on offers, and I would say manage onboarding process, including background screenings. And when you get in the full, these bullet points can be better. Let me just put it there because we're going to spend too much time. These bullet points are too vague. They too wide open. I just don't see the strength in them. You can find a job, but if you want to find one where you're going to be a demand and they're going to pay you what you want because this is what you said, then you got to come stronger than this, because other talent acquisition professionals, their resumes are going to be stronger. So I just had to stop myself there because I was going too deep into it and I got a plane I need to catch at 5:30 a.m. Responsible for screening, onboarding, and processing background screenings for 15 to 20 requisitions. Now, out of those requisitions, so you did a good job putting that down there, but out of those requisitions, how long were they open? Like, how many different verticals were they for? How many out of those requisitions, how many people did you hire? Because I may have one requisition, but I hired like 3 or 4 people from that requisition. So how many hires did you have? Maintains internal candidate application process for the initiation of automated correspondence directory recruiting system. That's like candidate. So I would go into saying like, first of all, I'm using assist. So take assist out and I would say manage recruitment using media and website strategies. Advertising is not going to be a keyword for human resources. So I would say job postings on X number of boards, both, physical and digital boards, because, maybe you went to some locations and posted them. I don't know. So you can definitely go harder there. Academic recruiting. How many college fairs did you do? What type of colleges were they? How many students showed up? Prospective student interviews and orientation events. How many interviews? So this would be, I would say how many events that I did. I don't know exactly what you're emphasizing with perspective. So I would just say how many you know, interviews that I did, how many orientation events that I did. And so when you say orientation, are you orienting them with the company as far as understanding what the company was in case they wanted to apply later? Or are you orienting them onto the job as like a new hire with onboarding, responsible for all aspects of the campus recruiting efforts? Well, you already said that up here. We talk about the college fairs and the interview. Up here, if you want to talk about how you manage all aspects of it, I would say, maintain a relationship with X number of colleges and, to make sure that our company was the first in demand for new events every quarter, because college is only going to do job fairs in the fall and in the spring. They're not going to do them in the summer. So I would say, how often you did those, how many different colleges did you go to during those times, process, scheduling, department budgeting, purchasing. How you process scheduling? I would say manage scheduling for X stakeholders on a regular, however often did you need to manage it. And then when you start talking about department budgeting and purchasing, why are you handling that as an academic recruiting specialist? I would say partnered with internal stakeholders to stay within recruitment budget. Purchase things that engage the audience better. I don't know. When you start talking about purchasing, I'm thinking that you're purchasing things to give away and things to market and promote when you go to these job fairs. Alrighty. And see, all of these really relate to HR, so I wouldn't get rid of them. I mean, probably not the academic program specialist. So I leave that at like a few bullet points. Now, what I can't understand is why you have like this little line here and then you go into the bullet points. I would just make those, each time I'm reading those, I just look at those as being a bullet point. Responsible for campus recruiting for media incoming students and doctoral physical therapy program on an annual basis. That's where you should put that. And I would just change the font size and make that a bullet point. All of these should be bullet points. And see, because you have that master's degree now, you got master's of science. Okay, so since you got that master's degree in human resources, I would put that to the top, but you have good HR experience, so you don't really need to. For the volunteer initiatives, I take that all the way off and I put my languages pretty small to the top. And I can't say pretty small. I just think this whole font should change. And honestly, I think you watered your resume down because you have really good experience. You just didn't talk to the strength of them. So there's no reason why you can't have 2 pages. You just need to make it stronger. Like your second page should still be diving into all of these skills. All right, let's break it down some more. Okay, I hope that was helpful, my friend, because I'm scooting on to the next one. Tell me in the chat if that was helpful. Are you here, my friend? Oh, Lord, I hate when y'all get quiet in the chat. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Where you at? Where you at, people? Where you at? Angelic Dunning, you're up next, my friend. You're up next. Am I missing some sleep for no reason? Because y'all ain't talking in the chat. Should I be going to bed so I can sleep and make sure I get up? Hey, Khadijah. Is that my Khadijah? Well, April Khadijah. I just saw her name in there. All right, Angelic Dunning. Angelic, you know what? You kind of, hold up, Angelic, you scare me. Okay, so you kind of scare me here because what you could do is honestly, I would make these smaller. Oh Lord, I didn't mean to do that. I would make all of these smaller and just put them right by each other. Like use 1 or 2 lines. You don't need to use 4 lines. Amen, Jessica, amen. All right, summary, a dependable performance of administrative professional Listen, friend, when you submitted this resume, you said that you wanted to be an HR professional. And then this whole 6-line summary, I see nothing about human resources. You need to change that. Change that and tell me what you're trying to do in human resources. Office administrator, client response. If you are not getting jobs in HR, this is definitely why, because none of your experience you're speaking to HR. So what I would do is I would take all of this off, because we're going all the way back into 88, my friend. And you work in HR back in 88, but let me tell you something. HR from 88 and 95 is so different now. So I wouldn't put that on there, because now someone's going to think that it's going to be too difficult to teach you new ways. Uh-oh. Thank you, friend. Thank you, because I'm diving in, honey. I'm diving in. See, I appreciate y'all. See, that's what happened when I be getting sleepy. And see, y'all are here. Yay, Keisha's here. Took Keisha all the time to tell me, because she probably was doing something with the kids. Okay, here we go, Jessica. Sorry. Okay, let me start over. Sorry. My bad. What I was trying to say, Angelic, was that here with all of the because it's gonna make me click on it. Here with all of these, I would make them smaller and make them into like a 1 or 2 liner. And then here you got the whole summary, and I don't see nothing about human resources. So you definitely want to emphasize human resources there. And then I'm gonna just scoot on down, because we have 2 pages and I haven't touched on HR yet. So we really should be on 1 page if I haven't touched on HR yet, right? So for your additional experience, you can take all of that off. So HR back in 88 is just so different from HR now that it's gonna really turn new HR professionals away, unless you find like somebody who worked in HR back in 88 with you. Do you want to work at that company? No, because they might not have an HRS. They probably don't have an ATS. They probably don't have, nobody with 1 person working in HR, right? You're probably doing everything manually. Things have totally changed. So I definitely take all of those out. And so now, since you want to work in HR, you definitely don't need anything about your real estate. So I take all of that out. And HR, we're never going to touch Salesforce or MLS. We're only going to touch Microsoft Office Suite. So you probably want to start talking about how you may have worked on Word, Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint. And then you also want to talk about other things that you've used. So what other technology have you used that relates to HR, or that you can use in HR? So go back and look at like the previous resumes that have had HR experience. They point out some technology that they've used in HR. If you use any of those, or you see it on the job description, put it in your resume. And then here, what I would highly suggest is, in addition to taking those jobs off, you don't want to go back no more than 10 years, my friend. So you definitely want to take all of this out. All of that goes, right? So the next thing I would do is change all these paragraphs and the bullet points. Just, like make all of them bullet points. And I would definitely talk in this summary about how I want to work in human resources, what I may be doing to start it. And on these office administrative positions, I would be talking about the things that I touched on, what that was, human resources. So I would take this little last line off and make all of these bullet points. And instead of division files, I just say files. And then this will be a new bullet point. That'll be a new bullet point. That'll be a new bullet point. Make it come down. Utilize extensive experience in customer service and closing. Oh, see, this is good stuff. So like how you're talking about, now I wouldn't really be talking about customer service, but how you're talking about training employees on the systems, that'd be my first bullet point. And then all of the stuff right here, I'll go into those more. Now I wouldn't be talking about no PPP loans, because we don't need to know that. But invoice is not a bad idea to talk about them, but just touch on it briefly. But I talk about the pay cycles, how many pay cycles that I did, how many employees were included with it, benefits that I did open enrollment, did I negotiate benefits, how many people were I helping with benefits on a regular basis, like do I know about qualifying events? Did I use a system for that? So I start talking about that stuff. Human resources is so vague. So I get it that you're saying human resources because you weren't in human resources. So start talking about what it is in human resources that you really did, like how you did already. So make those bullet points so that they can just take up more space, right? And be clear to read, because these little paragraphs, Take too much reading for the HR professional. And they going through too many resumes. So it's not that they're lazy, they don't want to read them. They're just going through too many resumes. So they'd be like, I'm gonna go to the next one that's easy to read. Yeah, and so I probably will put my skills up here right below my summary and start killing those in bullet points. Cool. Alrighty, so next one's up. Now we are on Devin. You've been waiting long enough, my friend. You've been on here since we started. It's your turn. It's your turn. Come on to the floor. All right. Now, like, I've been so busy working from home. Like, I used to have times where I could stop, take a lunch break, watch my favorite show. So now I don't watch my favorite show. I watch what soothes me that I can hear in the background. And so what soothes me, because I'm an early 80s baby, is listening to In the Heat of the Night and Matlock. So I let those play. And sometimes then like those old game shows will come on. So that's what we just say that. Anyhow, y'all ain't care about all that. See, y'all look at this. See how Devin did this? First of all, I like the way that Devin just changed his information real quick so y'all can't really find him. He probably ain't care about that LinkedIn because that's probably his real thing. But see how he changed the phone number? He changed city, state, United States. That's all y'all got to do. That's all you got to do when y'all make changes. But you see how he did this. He may have used a template. He may have went into like something like Adobe and created this himself. He may have used Canva. He may have used a template from like Easy Resume. He may have used different things. But it is easy as heck to read. Don't we love that? See how he dumped all of that in it? Oh, Devin, this looks amazing. Just from looking at it. I haven't dived into it yet. Let me grab my glasses because this looks so good. I'm missing that. But you look like you're hitting on some stuff, my friend. You look like you're hitting on some stuff. This looks great. I like the way you got, oh, the glass so dirty. I like the way you have your name out there. And I easily can see it stand out. You're an HR generalist and you use this space really good. Ain't no ton of white space that's not used in a right way. Because even though you have all this white space, look here, you really, really got it in a position where it stands out for me. I'm like, summary, certification, education, experience. Bam, it's making me want to read more. Proactive and performance-driven human resource professional. Now, see, y'all, I like those words. I try to tell y'all not to start with any old random words. Like, y'all be like helpful and strategizing. But see how he said proactive and performance driven, and he ain't diving to more than two. So if y'all gonna give them action verbs, don't give them more than two, and make sure they solid, they really strong. Proactive says you ain't got to tell me what to do. I'm gonna catch the error before it comes. Performance driven means I'm gonna always be working. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that where they're strong on your work ethic and not your personality or not your, passionate about. We ain't care about that. We will know you're proactive and performance driven. There we go. Human resources professional. Devin, you obviously have been taking notes. You're so welcome. But you obviously have been taking notes because this resume looks phenomenal, my friend. I love it. 5 years of success working on in small teams. Now, listen, what we're not about to do is be diminishing this. This thing that give me so much anxiety, and then you get the small teams. Nope, working with teams. Building internal systems, improving. Nobody cares if it's small or big. It can be, the team could be just 2 other people, or the team could be 20. You can find that out in the interview because you're gonna get me to the interview. Then I'll let you know, oh, girl ain't been nothing but me and the assistant. And by then, my personality gets you, and my passion for other areas of HR gets you. So I can care less then to tell you that it's only 2. So right now, I just say working with teams, building internal systems, and improving employee relations, aiming to step into. I would just put something like seeking human resources generalist role. And honestly, you might see something else that's not a generalist that you like. And from this resume right here, somebody will probably damn sure take a chance on you. Like I would take a chance on you working in something different that might not be a human resources generalist role. And I tell you, hey, listen, I got a generalist position, but I got this and either pays the same or it pays more, So I would just say seeking on this one and then make like a human resources professional resume. And then on that one, you don't have to say what you're seeking to get into. He wants to foster symbiotic employee and customer prosperity at growth stage e-commerce startup. You really want to work at a startup, my friend? Where my friend at Riley. Riley works at a startup as an HR director. Normally Riley's in the chat. I'm surprised but he be working. That's why I wonder if you want to work at a startup. So like if you're applying to somewhere that's not an e-commerce startup, because people either love startups or they hate them. I've never worked in one. Just what I heard about them, I don't want to be in one. But people either love them or they hate them. So if you know that's where you want to be, then keep it there. If you know that there's a chance you want to work for a much bigger organization that's not just a startup or one that's, working in the technology space, but not necessarily e-commerce, then you definitely want to change that line. And you can use more than one resume, right? So this will be your HR generalist ones for e-commerce startups. And then you can have another one, HR professional, for any other company, any other job that somebody might see me for. You just know you want to keep working in human resources. You have your certification there, my friend. I don't understand why I got to get all the way down there to realize that you have the certification. What I want to see is SHRM SCP, SHRM CP on the end of your name there. That's really going to give a lot of strength to this resume. You can still keep it down there with certifications. And then I would move that education all the way down below my experience. I wouldn't leave it up there. Well, I actually would just put it, be honest with you, I put it below those professional competencies. Now I'm gonna get down there and see what kind of competencies you're talking about. But it's not an HR degree, so kind of keep on focused in the HR space because your summary already says HR, your certifications already says HR, your name's gonna say HR because you're gonna change that. And then your experience already says HR. Don't throw them off with the psychology. I have a philosophy degree. I don't be tossing that thing at the top. I keep him at the bottom. That's what my bachelor's is in. Now I have a master's in human resources, but you don't see that at the end of my name because I got tons of letters after that thing. I don't need you looking through my resume to find out. You're gonna see that off the top. Now help me out. Why don't you have any? I know that's right. Now help me understand, Devin. Did you already accept this job for human resources administrator, or are you calling this into existence? You speaking this into existence, you really got this job. Okay, so you love startups. I get it. A lot of people do. A lot of people like that because they get to touch a little bit of everything. So you can just keep that there. Don't worry about taking it out. I would take it out if I'm not applying to a startup. But startups are great. Some people, because you get to touch so many different things. I just ain't got time for my day to be all over the place. So I'm confused what I'm working on every day. But some people like that. I'm a little different. I can't take it. It's gonna drive me fool. So if that's what you want, you leave that in there. Don't you pay me no attention because you know what you want to do. See? So that's why I always tell people like create your own career story, and that's what you're doing. You know that's what you like to do. Don't pay me no attention with that one. All right, so I had to get that little alert out the way. All right, so tell me what we're doing about this HR administrator position, because if you're already working in it, if you're not working in it until January, then just take it out. You might have been doing this just to let me know where you are, but if you're using this to apply somewhere else, I take it out. Hero processor. Yeah, see how he got the titles bold and a slightly different color, so it brings total attention to it. He's talking about how he's helped in 40 new facilities, 12 states, as part of a $775 million acquisition. You see how he's talking about helping 3,500 employees nationwide. He's helped 15 facilities. Bring out these numbers to show the emphasis, my friends. He communicated cross-functionally. Okay, y'all around here, I send emails. No, ma'am. You communicated cross-functionally. Okay. And to bring extra emphasis into your resume to help you in the applicant tracking system, put which HRS it is, because I already saw you have quite a few of them down at the bottom. So just put which one it is, and that'll let them know how recent your experience is with the one that they need you to use. Yes, he stays up to labor laws, even though because he's certified, my friend, because he's certified. Listen here, don't be telling people why you leaving. Nope. You're gonna take that out. We finally get to a place where I'm like, nope, that's not working. So this is the second place, human resources administrator. I'm trying to figure that out. Yes, I started in January, but I want to be proactive about continuing career growth in 6 to 12 months. Just want to get a competitive resume for future right company. Yeah, well, if you applying somewhere else, they're gonna think that you hauling ass and you just got there. So don't add that in until you've been with the company, for the period of time that makes you comfortable before leaving. Cool. I wouldn't just toss it in there. Leave payroll processor in there, and I would use this as my draft. So this is something that I do. I keep one as a draft where, as I'm doing new things, I might write it down on a quick sticky note, but I'm gonna come back in here and start typing in my bullet points so I don't forget what I want to talk about that I've worked on. Especially if it's not something I do every single day, or if it's something that just hit me as a light bulb moment. So I use this as a draft and start adding those bullet points, but I definitely wouldn't apply with this because you're sending the wrong message, my friend. Reason for leaving, take that out too. Love it. Okay, you let me know your situation. Well, congratulations, my friend. You got a actual HR job in the department. You're not just payroll processing, you're not admin assistant. And the great thing about it is as you grow that experience, you can go ahead. Honestly, you don't even need to grow the experience. I just go ahead and take this receptionist position off because it's so long ago. You don't need that. But I would also take off now this one right here. Instead of putting all that emphasis in it and taking up so much space, I just put in parentheses right here, COVID layoff. Cool. And then, yeah. And you obviously know how to change your fonts, your margins and stuff like that to make it fit. Don't get nervous like, oh, Tamika, now I got all this white space. No, you won't, because even when you take all of this stuff right here out, just change your font a little bit. Like particularly down here, because everything looks in order, but you really didn't give yourself no room at the bottom, right? So you can change the font, change the margins down there and make it kind of fit right. All right, areas of expertise in spearheading operation. He is igniting employee engagement. Y'all ain't ready. Advanced trainings, retaining diverse talent sourcing, offer generation, people analytics, H1B. Y'all, he got H1B immigration and visa sponsorships experience. My friend, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. You can do this if you want, you ain't got to. But I take all these, and I would put them as just like professional. I mean, professional competencies, yeah, because you got to mix them down there. So I take this whole section and put them up higher because you don't have as much HR experience. So take out all that stuff I told you to take out, put your education all the way down there and swap that education space with your experience, your professional competencies, because you've used a ton of HRSs because you've used UltiPro, ADP, Kronos, PeopleSoft. You use Slack. Those startups want to know that you know how to use Slack. They love that. They love that you've used Zoom, that you've used Microsoft Office, Google Suite, Notion. And Google Suite have used, did you use Google Meet and stuff like that? So yeah, I would definitely swap the education and the professional areas there. So I hope that was helpful, Devin. Let me know because you hide in the chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love, my friend. That means a lot to me. You had a really good resume, super easy to go through. I mean, all of them are super easy, but it didn't make it where I had to think about what's the nice thing to say. Because sometimes I'd be saying stuff. I can't say I just say it. I love my mama, but my mama is authentic as she can be. And she'll come out and say stuff, and I'll be like, no, mama, that is not the nicest way you can say that. So I'll be trying to work on how I say things. Because luckily I'm her daughter. I feed it well. Like I understand, but everybody ain't gonna get it well. You got to be careful how you say them things. All right, Tara Jensen. All righty. Let me get over here and see what y'all say. You're so welcome. Great resume, my friend. Great resume. Keep the energy going. You should be fine, especially at a startup. They're going to be happy to see the experience that you have. Alrighty, Tara Johnson. What I do is definitely change these margins, make that go higher, put my name bigger, make all of this stuff, take them off bold and off italicize your address and all of that stuff right there, make them all a one line right under your name so you can get more space. Now I'm trying to figure out why we went into okay, it's cool. So you're going to be the exception to the rule where I don't think is a great thing to keep putting in experience that's over like the 10-year mark. But your experience kind of goes in HR, you out of HR, you in HR, out of HR. So I would definitely take this part off because it has very, very little to do with HR, not enough emphasis to get you like an interview or deny you one. And then what I also do is change the font on these things, make them smaller, change your spacing in between, because that can help you pull all of this up. To be honest with you, because you don't have a ton of HR experience, it shouldn't be a problem getting it all on one page. So team focused HR specialist with experience in humor. Okay, so few things. You said team focused HR specialist with experience in human resources. I hope you got experience in human resources if you are a team focused HR specialist. You just like kind of said that again. So you don't need that there. And I probably would take, I would just say with it, and I would look at that job description. Most job descriptions for human resources, it's not going to start with safety unless you're in some place like a plant, a manufacturing place, maybe on like, a distribution center where safety is a big concern. If you're not applying to those places where safety is a huge concern, then you really want to start with something that's generic that everybody needs, which is going to be, training, labor, employee law, that type of thing. I'm not sure why you need regulatory training. That totally goes with the industry. So if you're with a company that has regulatory bodies that's constantly looking at different things from HR, then yeah. Otherwise, I'd take that out. The next thing I would take out is this absolute last line, because it's a step above what you're gonna be doing in human resources. I mean, unless you're working for a really small like company, it's gonna be a step that is HR people not gonna do. So it could be received wrong. So I don't know why that's italicized, but I definitely would take the italicizing off. I would take it off centered so that I can get more space in there, and I would make it a lot smaller. So this whole thing should be down to one page. This is way too much space in between. So definitely change the spacing there. If you're not applying to be a VP, a Chief Human Resources Officer, a Director, then guess what? You don't need an executive summary, but you definitely can use a professional summary. All of those are great things, especially union, non-union environments. That's good because that's unique. Not everybody has that experience. So for your education area, you never need your high school when you have a bachelor's degree. You really don't need the associate's degree either, since none of those relate to human resources. I take them out. So first of all, I would take out all these years because now I'm kind of letting them know that I'm a little seasoned. So I take that out. So I take this out for sure. I take this out for sure, and just leave my bachelor's degree, especially because I have the HR information there. Since you haven't graduated yet, then great to leave expected graduation. That's not a bad thing. Awesome. And then when we get down here, you don't need a city, state, and zip code on these things, so take them all off. I mean, you can just put the state if you want, or the city and state. You just don't need the zip code for sure. And then another thing is I would take off the months. But I like how you went into explaining this human resources role more. I don't like the one-liners hanging over. That's just probably just me because I feel like it's such a waste of space. But by the time you change your margins, change the font, even use like the ampersand sign or a semicolon, then you should be able to have ones like this on the same line. So that should be able to all fit onto your first page and give you a lot of emphasis before they get down here. And also, there was another job I wanted to tell you to take off. So yeah, I would definitely take this job off. And then I get it. People get nervous about showing like gaps in work, but these are things you can explain in the interview. You know what I'm saying? And if I did leave it there, I'm definitely not going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines with bullet points. I'm taking up no more than 2 because that don't relate to what I'm applying to. So I'm gonna use like 2 bullet points. I'm gonna change the font, make it smaller. I'm gonna take out all of these acronyms because it doesn't relate to HR. And then keep it moving. So not a bad idea if you reword it, take it out, whatever you want to do. But put all the emphasis. You got good emphasis in the HR specialist position, so that's a good thing. All right, y'all, we're going to the next one. All right, Tammy Rosanda, you're next, my friend. Tammy. Tammy, you're next, my friend. Oh, Lord. Tammy got one that's in Google Sheets as well. All right, Tammy. So I don't like when people use Google Docs because, I mean, you can use it if you want to share a link, right? If you want to apply with a link, if you want to use a link for whatever reasons, you can do it. But one reason I don't like it is because people can manipulate my data. I mean, unless you can change it to view only, so that's cool. But now that takes away your right to make edits to it later. Plus, it doesn't allow us to play with the margins as freely as you could in Word. I haven't learned it yet. Maybe you can teach me something. But like you got all of this white space here. I make these a lot smaller and I make them all on one line, right? Ooh. So you got good HR experience. I'm just lost why you got these single little bullet points. Okay, I would use a template. I would use a template and not Google Docs. You definitely want to take notary certification out and put that in like a certifications area because people really look for that HR certification too. So if you have it, put it in there. I don't see where you have it. But for your summary of qualifications, how you know you're qualifying for the job with these things? If they're not as a minimum qualifications on that job description, you ain't really qualifying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You need to qualify based on what they're looking for. They don't put these job postings up there for their health. They put these job postings up there so that you guys literally can see what they need. It's no different than me going on Facebook Marketplace and saying, you know, searching in for a couch, right? Let's say I needed a couch and I look on Facebook Marketplace. I don't want to see a car come up, a child's toy come up. Like, I don't want to see all this stuff I'm not looking for. So when people post a job like they would for an item, right? They're searching for an item or whatever. They're looking for people to present themselves as such and to meet those qualifications for that, right? So that's what you're really qualifying for. So I would just put professional summary and just put like a quick 2-liner on what you're trying to do. You have a lot of experience in HR, my friend. So I don't know why you're bold and stuff all over the place. That really is throwing me off. So like, I would definitely look at how I'm functioning this thing. You know, a great example, which is probably a little bit too much, but I mean, a great example would be to look at Devin's. You see how Devin had his where you can just guide your eyes with it. So pay attention to how those things are. So I would definitely look at, you know, some of my experience and just do a quick summary of what I can do. You're an HR manager. So you're an HR manager and a recruiter. So that's telling me this is a small company. Let's see. And then you provide HR business partner support. This company had you all over the place. See, you did a lot of stuff. So I don't know why you have recruiting that job. Just because these companies call y'all a title, y'all ain't got to put that in your resume. You can really put in what it is that you worked as. You know what I'm saying? It's the application that you can't fudge. So when you're doing the application, that's your legal binding document that they're going to check against your background screening. So that's the document that you want to make sure that you're using the same title that the company used. On your resume, this your free document that you can do whatever you want with it. Change it to what you want. Because out of all of these bullet points, I ain't see nothing about recruitment. And these are great skills. Like you did amazing stuff at these companies. So I would just call myself a human resources manager. I wouldn't say I provided HR business support. I just dive into all my skills. People are going to see that if that's what they're looking for. I would make sure that my bullet points all line up, because this one over here, this one over here. For this recruitment stuff, I don't know why these bullet points are so short. You did such a good job up here. So give them more meat and potatoes down there, because right now you just got them standing there like bones. And then when we get down here, I'm all the way lost here. Okay. 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 You're just gonna have to figure out how to format this thing better, because like these, I just don't know why these are like, you just got them going in all kinds of formats. So keep the format consistent, right? Again, here they call you admin assistant and an HR associate. On my resume, I'm taking that admin assistant off. I'm gonna move the dates over here, and I'm only gonna put the years, and I wouldn't even worry about putting position eliminated. I mean, if you want, you can, but that was so long ago. I don't see why somebody would be focused on that right now. And then I definitely take this business owner part out, because be honest with y'all, people gonna think your mind is gonna be divided. You know, I get very nervous about telling people like I own HR and I want to work full time, because people just think that you're not gonna put in the same amount of work. People don't realize that I'm, you know, partially an empty nester because my daughter's 19. I ain't got no husband. It's just me and the dog, and I got time to do both. You know, they don't know that, so keep them focused. So I take all of that out, and this fly getting on my nerves. Sorry. Oh my goodness. So you're a staffing coordinator, acting manager, and a marketing administrator? No, my friend, just keep staffing coordinator in there. Or I just, I don't know what these companies be doing by doing this to y'all. And then I'll definitely take this one off. Take that one all the way off. And get up out of Google Docs, my friend, so you can make more changes to that thing. Because if you were in, I mean, I guess Google Docs do it too. I'm a little confused. I thought to say to give you more structure, but I would go for a template. Go in like Canva or something. Canva is like free. You can use that for no charge. You can even go in the Word and just, before you type in the word, like go to, I think you can go to new, or just to tab right over from new. And when you go into that, oh my goodness, what happened? And when you go into that tab, you can just search resume and using those templates that come up. Michelle. I don't know what Google got going on here. Oh, here we go. All right. I clicked on the wrong thing. That was me. So I said, why is my Google phone going crazy today? All right, that's the last one, y'all. And then I can go get my behind in bed, because I said if I can get in bed by 10 o'clock, then I should be able to wake up at 3 a.m. All righty, but I haven't eaten yet. I'm so hungry. So I need to do like a DoorDash order, because I'm hungry as ever. All right, we can get into the last one. What y'all talking about in chat? Oh, none. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lafredo. Okay, hold on, but that's not Devin. That's Devin, right? Y'all sleeping? I always been the youngest child, right? My sisters are older, and to make us go to bed, Mama said, "Everybody, cut off that light." So we cut off the light. So Mama's room was on one side of the house, and all our rooms was on the other one. And we'll wait till we think Mama went to bed, or she went back in her room, or she can't hear us, and want us to say, "Y'all sleeping?" Because we want to cut the radio on and all kind of stuff. Anyhow, now y'all got me thinking about all kind of stuff. I feel like I'm really quiet by myself. All right, we're gonna share the screen and do the very last one. All right, Cindy Adams. Cindy, way too much white space, my friend. Way too much white space. You have so much more you can do with this. Let's see what you got going on. It's 2 pages long. Oh yeah, and you done started the HR generalist and a recruiter and a recruitment manager. Oh my friend. Oh, you from over here on the east side, then you move over to Nevada. All right. Don't worry about putting the dates in there. I'll take the dates off the education. And to be honest with you, with the police record clerk, I would totally take that one off. And I would just make this a one pager, because what you can do is make your margins a little bit smaller, make this just like a tad bit smaller. Put all your identifying information on one line. Look at it. You got a whole bunch of space. You'd have like almost that amount of space to play with. So when you get your career summary, I don't know why it didn't go all the way out. So check your margins on your right-hand side, because your margins are all the way off on the right-hand side. So definitely go in, check your margins, because they're all the way off on that side, and make sure like you're using up all the space you can, because then that's going to give you more space, because these lines will turn in from being like 5 lines to like 3 lines, right? Yeah, I really like your summary. I like it. I make it smaller and make sure that the spacing is right on it. Now for your skills, I don't know why you went this easy on it. First things first, is I make it a lot smaller. I definitely take all the spacing out between the skills and experience. And then I would put that HRS experience at the top, and then full cycle recruitment. Then I go into Microsoft Office and see what I worked in there, and just start thinking about all the different software that you've ever used. Like, did you ever use Slack? Did you ever use Zoom? Did you ever use Google Meet? Did you ever use, you know, SharePoint? Like, go into all of those other things that you may have used and just start making them like a 2 or 3 columns right here. And that's gonna give you a whole lot of space to bring this HR generalist job up. Hmm. Well, I mean, you probably still need 2 pages. I think you can play with this and make it a 1 pager, because I feel like so much of your white space is used unnecessarily. Like, I feel like I can't even give a good depiction on like how much, if it should be a 1 or 2 pager, because it's so much white space that's just hanging out there that's not being used. Now make sure you capitalize Cobra all the way, because somebody gonna think you don't know what Cobra is. And I don't know why people put STD, but then you don't put LTD. All you people just wait on short term. If you did short term disability, you know how to do long term disability. And then I always put like a little small I right after it, because I don't want nobody to think I'm managing, sexually transmitted diseases out here. So I put STD and then a small I, LTD and then a small I. Coordinate a group of 25 new hires, orientation HR director. How often did you do that new hire orientation? Oh, you just started in March 22. But you're the generalist. I would just take off with the HR director part. They should be helping you anyhow. You just get there in March, man. You've been there a year. But did you only do 1 new hire? Are y'all only doing, if you brought in new 25 people at one time, y'all hiring pretty aggressively. Delivered support. Are they only hire once a year? Delivered support to hiring managers with full cycle recruitment as needed. Take that as needed out. Conducting phone screens for hourly candidates, increase costs. Okay, so I'm all the way confused, because you're an HR generalist. Why you worry about the cost center? Take that out. Take that out. I'm guessing the call center is what handles these screenings. Why do you need to emphasize that you're only doing it for hourly candidates? So I probably would put a dot right there and take all the rest of that idea out. And then coordinate the interview, schedule, background. Maybe that need a comma, schedule. And interview schedule, okay. Coordinate interview schedule, background, onboarding and assessments. Yeah, so you need to work on this a little bit more, because you've already been in leadership roles. So these need to be stronger, right? So what you want to do is you want to change this to like coordinated how many interviews or how many rounds of interviews, and what type of interviews do they include? Were they just one-on-one HR ones, panel ones, and then background by itself, honey, that's making someone think, something's missing in your skills, because you should say how many background screenings did you do. What I would do is make that a whole separate line, a second line, and I would say onboarded X number of candidates, included background screenings for all of them, and initial assessments. I don't know what assessments you need to do. I'm guessing that should be in an interview bullet point, because assessments should only go in an interview bullet point. Work in close collaboration. Y'all implement the whole HRS in 6 weeks? I know if I put that in it. The whole Paycom, y'all must only use one component. So I wouldn't put the time frame, because now that throws me off. Did you only implement just the ATS and then the payroll side? Because ain't no way you implement the performance evals, the COBRA, the termination, all of them components you did in 6 weeks. And this how big y'all team is, that is you, the VP, and the director? No, honey, y'all got some help somewhere. Maybe Paycom gave y'all some help or something. Ain't no way. Especially if y'all got 300 employees. Yeah, I'm missing something. Manage employee relations cases such as terminations, workplace investigations, and employee engagement. Okay, review and complete unemployment. Well, you can't say that you completed them in 24 hours, because unemployment, okay, you just did the verification for unemployment, so you didn't process the claims? That's confusing. So I probably would say review and completed employment verifications within 24 hours. And then I do a different bullet point to say what I did with the unemployment process, because ain't no way you can do that in 24 hours. Sometimes they don't give that person an opportunity to talk to somebody for 2 months. So you couldn't do it in 24 hours. They just started letting you apply for unemployment online when COVID came. Before, it was nothing but paper trail. Okay. Okay, all of these are good. I would definitely just look at, taking that record, keeping position out, like I already told you, take out your dates down there and making those margins different, changing the font size. But I think I could give you, I can't say I would like, it's whatever you like. But I think I could give you better feedback if it was a one-on-one call, because I need to understand I need to understand a lot. So I'm giving you some generic feedback. If you want full, feedback to make this a little bit more effective, then definitely go to my website, HR.com, and schedule a call, because, you've been a recruitment manager, just a lot of little iffy parts in there that if you get making it unclear for me, I don't know how effective it could be for your job search. Cool. All right. See, y'all see me struggling trying to find the right way to say it. Not nice, because I'm always be nice. I'm just trying to find the right way to say it. Y'all, we made it through. If y'all still in the building, please put a 1 in the chat. We made it through, honey. We made it through. But if y'all really enjoyed this, so if you're still in the building, put a 1, because I need to know you're there. I'm gonna look in just a second to see how many people are here. I'm just trying to close this out because I need to pack this computer up to go with me. But if y'all are here, give me a 1 in the chat. Hey, Keisha, you are just so patient with me. I appreciate it. Now, if y'all enjoyed this, give me a 2. If you found this helpful, give me 2. Matter of fact, I need y'all to do something different. We're going to change this up. If you really, really enjoyed this, then do me a huge favor and just hit the like button. That would really make me happy. That would really, really make me happy. Okay, only 14 y'all on here. Oh, we got a small crowd tonight, which is awesome, because that makes it a little bit easier. Probably because we did it on Monday versus Thursday. Probably because I didn't do as many alerts as I normally do. Life has been crazy. Devin, great job on that amazing resume. You did a good job. Jessica, thank you for submitting yours. Take that feedback, girl. Grab them jobs. Yay, Keisha. So this is what we're going to do. I normally would just run through my presentation again, but to be honest with y'all, my eyes are so heavy. I'm so hungry, and I need to find enough rest to find myself getting up on time so I don't miss my flight. So I'm gonna get on off of here. I really, really appreciate y'all being here. I'm so happy that y'all found this helpful. I'm going to finish finalizing the details on what resume reviews will look like in the future. I'm gonna also finish some changes. So look out, January Human Resources HR is gonna have a lot of different changes. And I'm gonna start fishing out what those changes are in January and steaming it up as we get it done, because we're gonna get through this in Q1. I'm not gonna worry myself to trying to be like, all right, I got everything available by January, because that really takes the fun out of me helping y'all. It puts too much pressure on me, and I don't have the time anyhow. So we're gonna get through Q1 and start getting all of these different new initiatives and things launched. You guys will start getting more emails about it. I'll be talking about it on LinkedIn. I'll talk about it a bit on IG. I might tap into Facebook here and there. Definitely put it on my community channel. So look out for new updates. The live resume reviews are changing. They're not going all the way away, but they're definitely changing. Individual resume reviews are going to be different. More options for you guys to connect with me one-on-one. More opportunities to get a full transformation versus you guys kind of dabbling into finding a job and dabbling into this. The 30-minute calls are going away, but y'all, it's not going away because, I want to make more money. It's going away because I want to be more effective for you. We're not being effective in those 30 minutes. I am speed talking, not giving you a chance to really talk through what you want. We're going through some of y'all resumes we can get through in 10 or 15 minutes. Some of y'all resumes take longer than 30 minutes. So I'm not being effective for you because I want to hear what it is that you want to do. I'm giving you my first impression on your resume. I'm giving you feedback on your resume. I'm giving you a bit of this, a bit of that, but I want to be able to give you more comprehensive feedback on it. Cool? So y'all, I'm going to bed. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. I appreciate all of y'all who jump on this live. I thank y'all so much. Y'all sleepy because out of 14, y'all only got 2 likes, unless the other rest of y'all already hit like. But I'm gonna get up here. Thank you so much, y'all. Look out. After the holidays, a lot of noise is coming from HR. For right now, I'm just going to get as much done on my full-time job as I can. Finish editing these videos so you guys can have some videos coming up. And then get ready for 2023. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Oh, let me say one more thing real quick. I'm definitely going to do a Q&A. My plan is to do another Q&A before Christmas. So look out for details for that. We're going to see when that come out. Do y'all want me to do a Q&A? Let me know if you want me to do a Q&A. If you want me to do a Q&A, then, hit the, oh, good. More likes. Yay. So, just give me like a quick 3 in the chat if y'all want more Q&As. I'm going to start shutting down in here. Oh my goodness, my text message going crazy. Keisha, you ain't even have to reply because I know you down. I know you down. You ain't even have to tell me. All right. I'm seeing more 3s. All right, y'all. We're gonna do another Q&A. My plan is to do one next week. I can't do nothing else again this week. But my plan is to do one next week, and I'm gonna try to do it early on in the week, and I'm gonna figure that day out and start blasting it on LinkedIn and emails and all of that stuff like that. But I'm doing it before the holidays because after Christmas, I'm no longer available, my friend. No longer available. I need to get some planning done. All right, y'all. Y'all, I wish y'all nothing but the happiest of times.